Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Okay, it is Motivation Monday. Are you guys ready? I am totally ready for this one because this is for overcoming exam fears for medical coding students. So you are about to go take your certification exam and you are nervous. We're going to talk about some tips today to help alleviate those fears for when you do go take your test. You are going to be prepared and you're going to be ready. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. Number one, approach with confidence. You got through the program, you've got it. Your mindset should be that failure is not an option. Sometimes when you don't give yourself a choice to fail, whether you think you may or you feel like you're not a good test taker, which that is a horrible thing to put on yourself. Don't do it to yourself. Don't put it on yourself that I am a horrible test taker. No, you're not. It's all up here. It is literally all your mindset. And I know it's going to sound cliche and you've heard it before, but it's true, okay? I am somebody who lived going through the exam. I know these exams are hard. Medical coding exams are meant to be hard. They are not meant to be easy. So even the smartest people have a difficult time when it comes to taking tests. But it's all going to be up here. It's all going to be in your energy. It's all going to be in how you handle it, okay? So don't let the fear overtake you, okay? I did have a viewer who did specifically ask me what were the things that she had to go through in order to get an accommodation because she has extreme fear when it comes to taking exams. Well, whether you're taking exams or whether you're out in the real world of medical coding, everything is going to constantly be a test. When you go and you apply for jobs, you're going to be tested before you even get hired, okay? This is not a job where you apply and you just say, oh, yes, I don't have any experience, but I just got my credential. Okay, we're going to need to see what you're made of. So we're going to give you a coding test. And you got to be able to pass that. So you have to really reframe your thinking if that is your issue. If you feel like you're just bad at taking it, you've got to get that negative talk right out of your head because it's not going to do anybody any good, especially you. Okay? So, moving right along. Number two, reframe your response to the word anxiety or nervous. Okay? Reframe it to excited. You see what happened there? There is a positive energy to that versus the unsure, non-confident words of anxiety and nervousness, okay? We feel like that because we're unsure of ourselves and we're not as confident as we should be, okay? The physical responses are both the same for being excited and being anxious and nervous, right? Our heart starts to race and our breath quickens and our palms get sweaty. The response is the same. However, if you're looking at a test that you are excited about a test rather than you are anxious and nervous, there is a completely different frame of mind. If you're excited about something, it's exciting, it's fun, you just can't wait. If you're anxious and nervous, you're like, oh gosh, what am I going to do? And you see? Same thing. But let's go for the positive sensation rather than that unsure, unconfident. When you've already been through the program, you've learned everything that you're going to learn. Okay? And now you're just at the finish line. You just have to cross over that finish line. Okay? So remember that frame of mind. Instead of being nervous and anxious, you're going to be excited. You're going to be excited for your new adventure to come. Okay? The next one is do not cram before an exam. You have already learned everything that you are going to learn, which is what I already said. So there is no need to stress yourself out at the last minute. If you have dedicated yourself to preparing, it will show on the exam. Let me repeat that last portion again. If you have dedicated yourself to preparing, it will show on the exam. Because if you've done all your studying like you're supposed to, that exam should be a walk in the park. Okay? So remember that. You went through the whole program. This is just it. Okay? Number 4, watch your breathing. I learned this one today. Remember to take deep breaths instead of shallow ones. The shallow breaths will limit the oxygen you take in and leads to tension versus deep breathing where more oxygen comes in and your body becomes more relaxed and blood pressure gets lowered. This way you can recall facts much more easier because your body isn't so tense. A lot of times we don't think about our breathing. So you have to really breathe from your diaphragm, your stomach, that deep breath, rather than just these little shallow breaths, okay? So that way your whole body can feel it and you can relax, okay? It's all about, you know how they always say you have to have your breathing technique, right? Like mothers when they're delivering babies, it's the same thing, okay? Well, not a baby, but but you are trying to relax and you're trying to get your body to focus, okay? And that's what you got to do. All right, next one. Number 5, get away from the negative people. I am going to actually do a whole episode on this very topic because this is driving me crazy. Get away from negative people. Stay away from Facebook groups. If you are in a Facebook group right now, get out of there. Just get out of there. I am telling you, because there is literally, I have yet to hear of one that is completely positive. I have yet to hear of one. If you know of one, please, by all means tell me. But there better be 0 negative talk in that room. And I'm telling you now, you're not going to find it. You are not going to find a single Facebook group that at least I've heard of. Like I said, unless you know of one, let me know. And I'm happy to check it out. Stay away from the Facebook medical coding groups. There is so much negativity that goes on in those groups, and it's for various reasons. Some people do get a bad situation that happens to them. Okay, maybe they got taken by the school or something happened, or they just can't pass the exam because they get so nervous. There is no telling what is going on. Everybody's journey in medical coding is different. The worst thing you can possibly do is get around people who are equally about to take their test, and then all of a sudden they start in with the negative talk, and they start with that rat race of that they don't know if they can do it, they don't know if they can do it, they don't know. Stay away from it. You have a responsibility to yourself to stay focused and keep your energy and right where it needs to be, which is getting to that finish line, crossing over that finish line, and getting your credential. You have no business listening to other negative people when they're complaining that they can't get a job, or they've been looking and they've been applying everywhere and no one is hiring them. There's a myriad of reasons why they're not getting hired. Maybe they're not passing the coding test when they're taking it. Okay, maybe that's it. Maybe they can't pass a background check. Maybe they can't pass another background check. Okay, there is a drug screen. I mean, there is a myriad of reasons why somebody cannot get a job. But as I've said, it's not easy to get in. Medical coding will fight you in the beginning. And you guys, if you've been with my channel, you've been watching my videos, you should already know this. I'm telling you now, you are responsible for the people that are around you. If you have negative people around you and you're about to go sit for your exam, get away from them as much as you can. Because all it's going to do is mess with your head. Get away from them. Stay with the positive people. The people that tell you that you can do it. The people that tell you that you can do and be whatever you want to be. That's where you need to be. Not with people that are saying that they can't get a job and they don't get it and no one taught them. And no. Stay away. Like I said, the whole episode is about to come up about that. And I really don't care the response that I get to it. I'm just telling you guys that to save your own sanity, get away from those negative Facebook medical coding groups, period. Number 6, go for a walk before your exam. This will help you relax and get that excited energy out, okay? It never hurts to do a little walking, okay? Number 7, if you eat breakfast regularly, eat. But eat light though, nothing heavy. There's nothing worse than getting started and your stomach starts growling if you're hungry, okay? So if you need to eat, eat. But don't eat anything that's so heavy that you're going to get sleepy or you have to, run to the bathroom. You don't want to do that, okay? Just eat enough so that your brain can function, okay? Number 8, use the practice exam books and set up mock exam settings. No disturbances. Treat it like it is the real thing. The thing that gets us the most is not knowing, right? It is the not knowing. How is it going to be? What is it going to be like? If you set up mock settings where there's no phone, nobody to bother you, and you have if you're taking an AAPC exam, the 5.5 hours, if you're with a HEMA, the 4 hours that you got to take, and make sure that you put yourself in a setting where you're not going to get distracted. You use your practice exam book and just work it like you would work it if you were doing the actual real test, and see what your answers come up with. How are you doing? Watch your time. Make sure that you can get through the entire exam for the allotted amount of time. Okay? So this way, if you practice and you keep doing those mock exams like that, by the time you go and sit for the real thing, it'll be like, oh, I got this. And you just go through there and you got it. Okay? You're ready. You just have to do it. All right, next one. Avoid asking others what it's like. Everyone's experience is different. Harness your confidence and know that you studied hard and that you got it. And this is what I mean by staying out of the Facebook medical coding groups, okay? So if you go in there and you start talking about the exam and then people didn't do so well, everybody's exam experience is different. Everybody handles pressure of exams differently, okay? So I didn't have any of that when I went. I literally did ask nobody. I didn't even use a practice exam book because at the time I didn't even know that they had that. So I just studied from the book, and I was just determined, and I passed the first time. So I had no background in medical either, just so you know, okay? 0 background in medical. Number 10, wear comfortable clothing. Okay, sometimes it gets cold, so think about that. If you get really hot, think about that too, okay? Number 11, when you're at the testing center, stay focused on yourself and your exam. You may see others leaving before you. Don't get caught up in thinking that you need to hurry up. Everybody is different. Stay focused on your test and watch your time, not the other people leaving before you. That is very important. And sometimes when you're at these testing centers, there may be people testing for other things, not just for medical coding. I know that when I went, they had different people testing for different things, different credentials. It wasn't just people that were doing medical coding. There was different occupations there as well. So keep that in mind. Focus on your exam. Focus on what you got to do. And make sure you watch your time. Okay? Watch your time. Whatever you do. Because these tests, they are timed. Okay? So practice, practice, practice. And then the final thing is, remember, it is just a test. This test is not going to define you as a person. It is not going to define you as anything other than to gauge your knowledge. You got to remember that. You have to remember that these standardized tests, these tests are meant to measure your knowledge base of whatever field you're going into. Okay? So remember that. And what you think of yourself and the energy that you're putting out is what is going to come back. I was determined as all hell to get through. And I surely did not want to have to take this test again. That was my mindset. My mindset was also failure is not an option. I was literally telling myself that the whole time. Failure is not an option. Literally was not an option. So there's people that will get tough on themselves like that, like I just did. And then there's people that don't need to be that way. It's however is most comfortable for you. The important thing is to be confident and to believe in yourself and believe in your abilities. Okay? And like I said, everybody's journey is different. So don't try to listen to anybody else. Oh, how was the test? Was it easy? Was it not easy? Like I said, what may be easy for me may not be easy for you. What may be easy for you may not be easy for me. So always think of it like that. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. But I hope you've enjoyed this Motivation Monday. And I have Q&A Tuesday coming up tomorrow. And I have that other episode about talking about Facebook groups and other resources of information that is that is unreliable. Okay, and how to avoid those. All right, but still know where to get support. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. But one other thing before I wrap this up, I do have a Patreon channel. I'm very excited. I got another subscriber. Thank you, Vivi, if you're watching. I appreciate you. And I appreciate all my subscribers on Patreon right now, which is Aresh, Jessica, and Zoe. I really appreciate y'all. And thank you guys so much. If you are interested in checking out my Patreon channel, and I'm going to plug myself here a little bit, it's just more candid me. And then I am going to be uploading a quiz tonight on that channel as well. So that way there's different quizzes that are going to be there. These quizzes that I put on Patreon specifically are not ever going to be on this channel, because I think that they do have a it's going to be set up to where it's separately from YouTube. Okay, not that the quality of the quizzes from YouTube is going to change, obviously not, but there will be more there. So if it's quizzes that you like, there'll be more there as well. And some of the packages that I do have, supporter level start at $1. And then some of the packages that I do have, they're very reasonable, and they do include tutoring time. So one-on-one with me. So if you're interested, be sure to check out my page. I'll leave the link down in the description box below. So I will go ahead and wrap this one up. But if you are a medical coder, a medical coding student, somebody curious about the fascinating world of medical coding, a provider or a nurse, I invite you to like and subscribe and follow me on my journey in medical coding. I will see y'all next time. Bye.